Camera trouble there for a second. Good evening, YouTube. Paisano's here somewhere. Let me try to straighten out the shot a bit. Here we go. Good evening. Welcome back to Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. I am your host, Paisano. If you are new to the channel, welcome. We talk about rock and roll here. If you've been watching for some time and not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And let Paisano assist you on your musical journey through the past. Tonight we're going to talk about just a sensational band by the name of the Allman Brothers Band. The Allman Brothers being Greg and Dwayne Allman, along with Barry Oakley and the two drummers Butch Trucks and J-Mo. And undoubtedly, in my opinion, the greatest Southern rock band. I mean, they were Southern rock before there was the term Southern rock. The term Southern rock really came around when the groups from the early 70s started to come out. You know, your Leonard Skinners, your Outlaws, your Marshall Tucker bands, Molly Hatchet, those kind of bands. But the Allman Brothers was the greatest of them all. And this is, it's not a greatest hits, it's a repackaging of their first two albums. They were looking to capitalize on their newfound success following their live album, Live at the Fillmore East, which really broke this band's popularity wide open. They had some great albums right out of the gate. They didn't sell all that well. There was a lot of competition back in 1969, 1970. You know, Led Zeppelin was just getting started. The Who was going strong. You know, there was just a lot of competition. And these guys kind of got off to a slow start. And this is a repackaging of their first two albums, like I said. And this didn't sell all that well. It was certified gold, which means it sold 500,000 copies. That's really nothing. The Fillmore East, so that was at least $1 million seller, if not multi-million-dollar seller. I haven't checked it out, but I don't own it on. I own it on cassette. And down the road, after I'm done with the vinyl, we're going to do CDs and we're going to do cassettes. So Paisano's going to be around for a little while, so you're going to see the entire collection. This album I got off my ex-brother-in-law. It looks kind of beat up, but it plays really well. It plays very, very well. I was surprised by how well it played for, I mean, if the cover's any indication, which I guess it's not in a lot of cases. The vinyl was cared for. And in my opinion, their first two albums were probably their best. You know, and I say that because they put out some great albums. I mean, Eat a Peach, which I reviewed earlier in the channel. If you haven't seen it, please go back and check it out. You had this came out before Brothers and Sisters, which is post the death of Dwayne Allman and Barry Oakley. But before You Eat a Peach was at Fillmore East, and then, you know, I mean, they had a string of great albums even up into the 90s when they had their comeback. They put out some dynamite albums. Yeah, the Fillmore East certified at $1 million. Certified at $1 million. I would have thought more. It's considered one of the greatest live albums of all time. Eat a Peach was fantastic. Some of that was recorded at the Fillmore East as well. Some leftover tracks that didn't make it. That was $1 million seller. But yeah, Idlewild South. The first two albums were the self-titled Allman Brothers Band. and the second album was called Idlewild South. And they're just fantastic. I mean, they just proved right out of the gate that they were a very, very talented band from top to bottom. Let's go over the track listing. The Allman Brothers Band takes up side 1 and side 2, and that's Don't Want You No More, It's Not My Cross to Bear, Black-Hearted Woman, and my favorite, probably my favorite Allman Brothers song, Trouble No More. Side 2, Every Hungry Woman, Dreams I'll Never See, and probably my second favorite Allman Brothers song, Whipping Post. That was the first album, the self-titled Allman Brothers. Idlewild South takes up side 3 and 4. Starts off with Revival, Don't Keep Me Wondering, Midnight Rider, In Memory of Elizabeth Reed. Hoochie Coochie Man, Please Call Me, and Leave My Blues at Home. Now I know that the first album was remixed for this release, but Idlewild South, they kept the original mix. This came out on Atco. Like I said, I bought it from my ex-brother-in-law, and the cover is a shot from one of their many, many performances at the Fillmore East, one of which was recorded and became probably the greatest live album of all time. On the back, some various shots of the band as they appeared in the very early 70s. Inside is some liner notes, some very extensive liner notes, given the history, really explaining the history of how the Allman Brothers came to be, and the story up to that point, which this came out in 1973. They jumped right on the success of the live album and said, you guys didn't notice this stuff the first time around, here it is again. And it was worth a second look, because it really, they really are two fantastic albums. Let's take a look at the vinyl. It's come out on Atco, like I said. Classic 70s Atco label. Alrighty. That'll do it for tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. What will Paisano dig up next week? Tune in. Find out. Thank you, and good night, YouTube.